Would I, 17F, be a bad person for taking this situation any further? Depending on your local laws, you might get her put on the sex offenders register as a child sex offender. That's potentially a permanent thing. I'd recommend going to the police and asking them about the potential consequences. See if you think they are appropriate in your jurisdiction. If she didn't want to attempt to ruin your life by sharing such a sensitive photo, she would have thought twice before taking and airdropping that photo. Therefore, if this does ruin her life, it would only be the result of her careless actions. Go to the police, especially now before the situation gets any worse. This is sexual harassment. This is illegal. She needs to know that. Since she is 17, she may not get her life ruined from it, but it will definitely scare her into knowing that this is not appropriate. She made you uncomfortable and showed your underwear to everyone. Do you really think for 1 second that this girl wouldn't go to the police had you take the picture of her? Don't feel sorry for her. She didn't when she airdropped it to everyone nearby. Report it. And maybe she will think twice about donating it to someone else. Do not listen to people on Reddit. This is your choice. Getting someone put on a sex offender list would destroy her life. Make sure you understand what that is. Then decide if you think she deserves it. If you think she does, then yeah, do it. But this has to be your choice. Don't make a group of angry people on Reddit make this choice for you. Most of the people that comment have already moved on. This is a choice you'll have to live with too. You'll have to see her life fall apart. We won't. I say again, if you feel like she deserves it, then yes, she does. But it's on you to make the decision about how what she did affected you. We can't know that part, only you do. They ever wish they could have died in someone's place? No. But I'm just selfish and like being alive. I kinda get that. I more so wish I had John Coffey's ability from Green Mile, where he can intake someone else's illness, purify it in his body and exhale it as a swarm of flies. Maybe W out the flies. When our dog died, I thought that. Obviously it passed. I think it's normal. Yeah, I get that sometimes too. I feel bad when someone who was doing stuff with their life got taken away when I just struggle with my mental health and just get by most days. I'm not actively living and those people were, so it makes me feel guilty. Yes. Technically I'm living my bonus/extra life. I clinically died in 2001 for about 6 minutes. And they brought me back. I had a severe asthma attack. The big thing that came out of it is we found the right combination of meds. Other than a few minor attacks when I have a cold or my allergies act up, things are okay. I think that. It's an automatic thought that pops up every time I read about someone's death. Why people with aspirations, lots of friends and potentials just dies before they have accomplished their goals. It's unfair. I get that life is unfair, but come on. I am basically just running out the clock while people who most likely wanted to live just dies in a freak accident or something. It's so wrong. Men of Reddit. What surprised you the most when you got your first girlfriend/started to get to know women? How fun they can make the small things in life. Ever gone out with your girlfriend to get Starbucks? It is such a fun experience. Just watching her making effort to get ready for that small trip. Hearing her talk about the most random things as you are walking. And then her ordering for both you and her. Customizing the drink in a way you didn't even know you like it. But when you are alone, you most probably won't even go. And even if you go, you will be like, whatever, just give me the most basic drink and I am out. That even the women you don't think are wearing makeup are wearing makeup. I'd slept over at my first girlfriend's dorm one day and woke up earlier than usual. I noticed her in the bathroom and went to go give her a hug. She was putting on makeup. Maybe it is because some of the women I was friends with really enjoyed more intense makeup, or maybe my GF just did it really well and subtly. But until you have a GF or wife, you're likely to have seen very few women without makeup. I had no idea she wore makeup. That there is no such thing as stealing someone's crush. I was like 17 and I didn't know all that much yet. I was in a love triangle at that age and I felt bad for the other guy, who was one of my best friends. But she told me that we both shouldn't forget that she is not something to possess as a trophy. She makes her own choices too. The fact that she said yes to me meant that she would also have said no to him and vice versa. There is no such thing as a claim or dibs on a crush. She either wants to be with you or she doesn't. There is no valid in between. Am I becoming insensitive? You seem like an interesting case study in the spontaneous formation of hate. How do you feel about yourself? Are you able to say that you love yourself and find it amazing that you are alive to experience this world? 1. The single biggest factor for happiness in life is close social contacts. That's partner, family, friends. If you lack most of these, it surely takes away a big chunk of what would otherwise keep you up. 2. People are generally shit. 3. Try to be open with yourself even if you're going through a period when you're closed for the world. I'm young and I kinda feel this. I'm in a perpetual downswing because I'm not where I want to be in life. My social circle has all moved on to better things. And I'm stuck in a dead-end job. Maybe it's time to change jobs. Personally, I have one foot out the door at work already because I feel like my own social issues are attributed to my work. It's made me extremely cynical and unhappy. If you can, work up the courage that I don't have to join a group or something. Meet new people. You might not be as much of an insensitive jerk as you think. You might just be lacking a positive environment. Florida State is attempting to make child rape punishable by death. Do you think child rape warrants a death penalty? Why or why not? While Florida is trying to redefine gender-affirming care as some increasingly hysterical form of harm against children while Florida is trying to remove the requirement of a unanimous vote for the death penalty, I must say no. Not necessarily because I do or don't. But because I do not trust the people driving that ship one whit. They're going to pass that shit, and in due time the next person who hands a kid a breast binder will be headed to the gallows. It should be pointed out that it is not just child rape but child sex abuse and pedophilia. Florida is also attempting to ban drag shows and criminalize drag in public and ban children from attending drag shows. So if a child is exposed to someone in drag, it would be classified as a child sex crime. So in that context you could see how this could be used to criminalize drag and trans expression into a sex crime against children. I have a feeling this is less about protecting kids and more about penalizing LGBTQ folks. I do not believe in the death penalty. And I can also notice that this is not an instance where they are advocating for victims. Because anyone who has been a victim knows that perpetrators use our fears to keep us under control. Imagine how much farther they'll push our fears now that their lives are in danger and quat. For 100% clear-cut cases of child rape? Sure. Throw them to the fucking wolves. But how many cases are going to be like that? And given the direction Florida is going, how long before it becomes a broader child abusers get the death penalty? Then it becomes anyone who talks to a child about anything trans is a child abuser and opos. This new law is a broadly acceptable first step in a larger and far darker quest.